Welcome back to the Expat Review, where we explore all things expat. Have you ever felt the fear of the unknown? That yearning to escape this rat race, the high cost of living, land of irrelevance, and go from ordinary to step out of that hole you're digging for your burial site and experience something truly extraordinary, like actually living life? Now, for me, I've had opportunities and experiences of traveling abroad early on in my life. My first marriage was to a travel agent. Back then, travel agents was your only source to set up and discuss those travel options. Now, these resorts and countries would pay these travel agents to visit their countries, stay in their resorts, see the attractions, and then come back to sell these trips with the perspective of having enjoyed them themselves. For 6 years, we made our way all over the world. And though I could see the stark differences in the cultures and lifestyles of the people, places, and, their culture, I don't think I actually appreciated it. I think I enjoyed the bragging rights versus the actual appreciation. But, as life, as it often does, got in the way. My marriage was not truly a marriage, but a loveless friendship. And of course, it ended in divorce. My short term, instant gratification was fed to all my resources. And I lived for the moment without improving myself or thinking about it or securing a future. My health, my wealth suffered, and my mindset was total shit. Two more failing marriages later, and, raising kids in broken families and a myriad of failed relationships. Responsibilities piled up, and I never really dreamed of moving abroad. Heck, but moving south and maybe starting a family-friendly fishing charter, because I absolutely love fishing. But, the dream of exploring the world, it never seemed to, come into view. Then something shifted. At one point, I just realized with all these previous bad decisions and life of instant gratification, I'm not going to be able to retire. Social Security is probably going to fail by the time I retire. At 62, I think they're going to cut it down to 32%. And, my 401k was never meant to go and pay for the prices that are currently now, let alone 10 years from now. I really wish I would have saved up something more, but I didn't. So, and right now, even retiring to move south or moving south right now, the cost of living down there, the housing is ridiculous, the insurance, I'm screwed. So I wanted to start figuring out how I could change my attitude by changing the latitude, because that was my whole thing. And now to live affordably, I have a decent career. It's enough to support myself, my family. I have my mom living with me. So yeah, I can do that. So it's what I call an American dream killing job, where you make enough just to live, and you can support your family and things. But the only way you're ever going to get ahead, maybe save, maybe thrive, is by working tons of overtime. And, I started to realize that these dreams of moving abroad, and I wanted to travel and experience cultures and people and places that, I did when I was young. And both, with the retirement and of financial issues, and I really need some adventure, because I am so locked drawn into wake up in the morning, go to work, come back, run my errands, go to bed, repeat. I've doing this now going on 30 years. And, not to have much to show for myself. A little bit, and I want to live a life that's not tied down and anchored to what I'm currently experiencing. So, of course, like many other people, I started watching YouTube, and then I realized I needed to change my health because, you know what? I was morbidly obese. Okay, now I'm a big guy. I'm 6'7" tall, but the most I weighed was 499.6 pounds. For whatever reason, I can't get myself to say that I weighed 500 because that's what the scale said. It wasn't 500, but you could see. So, you know what? I started losing weight. I started doing some exercise. I started changing around my finances and started, minimizing these expenditures. Instant gratification. Had to just change that. I watched YouTube and I worked, on financial literacy because, we are not taught anything about that. Yeah, I am good to pay bills. I am good to, but not into saving. Definitely not into investing other than the automatic withdrawals for my 401k. I never did this. And, honestly, when you slowly start changing all these things, and you got to realize with your mindset that we all deserve to be happy. And honestly, I don't think that most people actually believe that they can change that at any age. They just look at it as like, because look, I am 53 years old. Well, no, 54. I just had a birthday. But yeah, I mean, how am I going to do this? But, and then I started watching, everything else. I started watching, videos on traveling abroad and expat life and their lifestyles. I never put myself in front of a camera before, not that I'm camera shy and not that, I'm an introvert, but at the same time, putting myself out there like that, yeah, that's, but honestly, I decided who cares who watches me? Because you know what? No matter what you might say about me, troll about me, whatever, I probably think of myself in a much more negative light, or I have in the past. So honestly, it really doesn't effing matter. It really doesn't. And that's the honest to God's truth. And, that's when the idea for the Expat Review kind of was born. A channel where fellow dreamers, expats, and those interested could come together, share all these videos with these different perspectives and with up-to-date information, because Lord knows there's so much. Live like a king for $500. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Now, while talking about just with these type of videos that we review and stuff like that, and then in the comments and eventually doing live streams, people can share their aspirations and maybe find their own inspiration to take the risk and move abroad. Now, this channel is much more than just rehashing other people's travel vlogs and stuff like that. Honestly, it's about trying to build a community of support and encouragement. And, try giving some actual practical advice, insider tips, and honest stories from expats around the world. Because, honestly, what I want to do might not be what you want to do. But because I'm sort of not there, I'm not situated yet. My dreams seem to be ever evolving. From having somebody to be very much in love with to not, to, meeting somebody being scammed to, being in a relationship here in the Western world just to find out that, you're an option. There's so many different things. So it's always evolving. And we just have to find our way. And the main thing is that no matter who is screwing you over, no matter what is happening on the outside, be it politically, be it whatever, the only thing you should be worried about is focusing on yourself. And you can change, and you will. Now look, I am still overweight. And actually over Christmas, I started to get down on myself, and I got to turn around. I gained a little bit of weight, but not anything near what I was. But I know I can do it. I need to get back, because how the hell am I going to be living in 100-degree weather with 100% humidity, walking around like a fat Joe? No, can't do it. And I want to be healthy. I want to do all these things. In my youth, I did all sorts of types of experiences. I loved fishing. I loved free diving. Yes, a guy like me in my youth used to do free diving. I love spear fishing. I love taking hikes. I love the outdoors. I want to experience that. Now, if I wait till I'm 65, 67, I'm going to be broken down. I can't do that. I got to figure out somehow how to get over there. So, little bit, all these little different streams or whatever, created this YouTube channel. Let's see how it goes. You never know. And so, we got all this stuff. We got honest stories like mine. This is really me. Yeah, I have that voice that I love to use because it makes me feel more comfortable talking about this. But, really, when it comes down to it, you know what? We got to tackle our challenges. We got to celebrate the triumphs, and ultimately, we got to help turn our dreams of living abroad into a reality. So, whether you're just starting to dream or actively planning your move or already living the expat life, join the conversation, share your stories, ask your questions, and let's inspire each other on this incredible journey. So, welcome to the Expat Review. Let's make those dreams a reality together. So, I do these videos every single day. I hope that you will join us. That is the main thing that we need to do, is build up this community. So thank you, and see you tomorrow.